So we've heard them tell the stories of who they are. So why don't we get them to take that test and find out what their DNA can really tell us about who they are. Let's find out. So, what do you know about DNA testing?
I don't have idea.
We provide a sample and then from there I'm not really too sure.
So we take a sample of your DNA from your saliva and we look at 720,000 markers on that and we compare it against a reference panel that we have, and that enables us to then break down your ethnic results and tell you where your ancestors came from.
It's absolutely incredible that you can do this.
To see some background to my life would be fantastic. Would be
kind of wonder if you can trace my heritage back to ancient Jerusalem or anything interesting like that, or Babylon, or...
Because I've got so many bloodlines running through me, so it would be nice to find out.
What do you think you'll find?
Basically Greek and more Greek.
It would say that I have heritage from England, Ireland, Scotland.
Yeah, I am gypsy, I think so.
Feel that I'm probably all the way blood of Jew, but I want to see how far it goes.
So what would you want to find out and what wouldn't you want to find out?
Norway, Denmark, Sweden and Finland, we kind of compete. So I would say that to me it's important to be, completely Norwegian.
We probably wouldn't want to find out, some sort of sinister family background. That would be kind of weird, but...
I have no issues with any other cultures, no.
I think I'll be quite pleased to find out if there was more connection to African culture.
As you said, if I'm not 100% Jewish, I don't really care. I think Hitler taught us not to be too focused on racial purity.
I'd love to be a little Greek or Italian, because I find those people a lot more glamorous than the old Vikings up in the north.
I find like that whole sort of Viking culture quite interesting, to be honest.
South American will be pretty cool, but I think that's quite far-fetched. That's not going to happen.
One guy I tested had ancestors from 19 different places. How varied do you think you will be?
I would say maybe 6 countries. Yeah, maybe 5.
Do you think it's going to change the way you see yourself?
I think it might. When you find out new bits of information, you start to look at things differently.
I don't think it will change. But it's good to find out.
I consider myself like a citizen in the world, I always think the little special things in one person or in one culture, and that's how I build up myself.
I'm not going to start walking around a kilt or anything if I find out it's Scottish, but...
Essentially, we're kind of all the same if you go back far enough, and my blood's no different to your blood, and my blood's not that different to the guys behind the camera.
I think all other cultures in the world add to the amazing tapestry that's humanity and makes the world go round.
This is what it should be, Everyone should respect one another. Doesn't matter where we come from.
For some people, DNA can be informative. It can tell them things they kind of already know about themselves. And for others, it can be transformative. It can really change the way they see themselves and other people. It can answer some questions, but of course it can often present many, many others. Are you ready to find out?
I'm open to it.
I couldn't think of anything that would shake me. I'm a pretty relaxed type of guy.
I'm pretty confident that there shouldn't be any surprises in there, but who knows?
I think it'd explain a few things about the way that I look, so...
A little scary to find out, also excited to find out.
We'll see, I guess.
I'm just ready for it.
If anything, it connects me to a broader community and to the world.
I have no idea what I'm going to find out in there. It's going to be a surprise, and I'm happy with that.
Yes, I am eager to find out.
So do you know how it works?
Really curious as to how they would be able to map DNA just from a little bit of spit.
So you order a kit from the site, it turns up in the post, you open it, you activate the kit online, special code associated with the kit, you open it up and you spit in the tube. And it's quite a bit of spit. You have to fill it up to that black line that's on the tube. Now it'll take a while, but don't worry about that. Seal it up, let the blue liquid flow back into the tube, put it in the box, and put it in the post, and it'll make its way to the lab, and then 6 to 8 weeks later, you get that email that tells you your results are ready. Is that something that you'd like to find out if you had cousins elsewhere in the world?
Well, that will be very interesting to find that I have someone, because at the moment I have nobody.
It could be a good feeling to have some family in Australia where you can spend the rest of your life.
Yeah, I'd love to find them. I hope they're good people.
And so now we've got a couple of weeks of perhaps anxious waiting for those guys until we come back and, tell them who they really are.